This shit more than a game.
Perfect.
There's no rant today. There's no opening monologue. I just want everybody to take the time right now to cherish it, absorb it, and soak in it. Because the New Orleans Saints won this past Sunday. And we probably aren't getting a lot of Victory Tuesdays the rest of the way. So cherish, enjoy, and savor this Victory Tuesday. Population, who that nation? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jono Barnes Show, where this shit is more than a game.
From the stands, I'm invested. Every loss served like a lesson, we tested. Front porch talk turn to Sunday confessions. From dome to the block, it's all one connection. From Eric to Drew, Alvin to Cam, talk down on my squad. Boy, I be damned. I rap for the ones that never got fame, still yelling loud. This shit more than a game. Cause y'all know why? This shit more than a game. It ain't no lie. This shit more than a game. You know that's right. This shit more than a game. And y'all know why? This shit more than a game. Now I got Lil Jono sitting on my knee, teaching them young what it mean to believe. This bigger than scores, it's what we became. He gon' know off top, this shit more than a game. Clarissa in the back giving me all types of stress, but deep down she know the husband the best. She knows he's crazy, she know he's mean, but she know the kid 100% New Orleans. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. It ain't no lie, this shit more than a game. You know that's right, this shit more than a game. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. Yeah. When you see Jono scream, this shit more than a game. And when you see a Falcons fan, just call out for Jonathan. And yeah, this shit more than a game. New Orleans know this shit more than a game. Louisiana know this shit more than a game. Texas know this shit more than a game. Whole world know this shit more than a game. Y'all know why?
This shit more than a game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jono Barnes Show, where even though the government is shut down, this shit more than a game community damn sure isn't. Start off the show the right way. Leave a this shit more than a game in the chat right now, because I assume that you all are in a great mood because the New Orleans Saints, in nearly over a year, finally got a victory this past Sunday. If only we could play the New York Giants every week, right? The Giants was our last win in 2024. The Giants is our latest win in 2025. Isn't the sky always bluer? Isn't the grass always greener when the New Orleans Saints win? I bet your crime went down this past 2 days in New Orleans and Louisiana too, right? The world just feels like a better place when the New Orleans Saints are victorious. And we were victorious this past Sunday, guys. What a fun victory that was against the New York Giants. And I know that a lot of fans may still be cynical. And I know that a lot of fans may be like, oh, man, what about our draft pick? Don't worry about the draft pick right now. The draft pick is going to happen when the draft pick is going to happen. It is October, you guys. It is October. Do not worry about the draft pick right now. The draft is going to sort out how it sorts out. You have no issue. You have no reason to be stressing over the goddamn draft order right now in October. Let it play out the way it play out and be happy that the team is slowly building something that hopefully can lead to us being in contention where Victory Tuesdays are a lot more frequent in a year or so. We already start off the show on a great note. The great Brute Saint. The $5 super chat, and he says this shit more than the game. And I want everybody to tell why you leaving a this shit more than the game. If you are on YouTube right now in the chat, just put a good old thank you to Brute Saint because we had a one super chat goal tonight. And I said, if I was going to get one super chat, and I'm not a picky man, I say just one super chat, I was going to have a special message in honor of Victory Tuesday from the king of the This Shit More Than the Game nation. Oh, I guess I should say the prince, right? He is the heir to the throne. He will be the king one day. That's right. Lil Jono. Lil Jono has a message for the Falcons fans. And I'm going to wait till the Falcons fans come in the chat because y'all know they're going to come scurrying like mice as the show goes on. And my son has a very special message for the Falcons fans. He was so darn pumped up after beating the New York Giants, after witnessing his first victory. He even smiled. Not intentional or not, prompt by mom and dad. He smiled on his own because you can see slowly but surely that this kid is becoming this shit more than a game certified. I mean, let me show y'all. If y'all haven't watched my reaction videos, just watch just how much, if you are true to the Jono Barnes channel, you can see how much in just 5 weeks, the kid is slowly but surely becoming this shit more than a game ingrained.
Hell yeah! About time! He's our best wide receiver! What are we waiting for? That's how you do it! Yeah, you see, I told you! This shit more than a game. Man, cut this dude! Dog. Cut him! Cut him! Why is he on our team? Why is he on our team? You can kick the ball better! Why is he on our team, bro? At some point, you gotta say enough is enough. Like, seriously, man. At some point, you gotta say enough is enough. But he's the low-hanging fruit. He's a kicker who can't make kicks. Cut him, boy! Shit, bring in somebody for competition at least.
Y'all saw how he didn't budge? Y'all saw, remember in week 1, he was crying tears because daddy would startle him. And now he's just like, whatever. I know what time it is. It's this shit more than the game or clock. It's been a great process if you've been true to the Jono Barnes channel. And imagine how he's going to be come week 17 when we beat the Atlanta Falcons to end our season. We'll really get to see Lil Jono go from a boy to a man. I know he's only going to be about 8 months at that point, but it doesn't matter. You'll see the kid become a man and become truly ingrained in a this shit more than the game world that we live in. So shout out to my son. And because of Bruce Saints Super Chat, we are going to play a special message from my son to the Falcons fans later on in the show. Now, before we get to that Saints and Giants game, we have played 5 games so far in this NFL season, which means we are about 1/3 of the way through of this 2025 NFL season. And I was thinking, okay, what are the top 5 things that I like about this rebuild so far? And what are the top 5 things that I dislike about this rebuild so far? And I thought this would be a healthy exercise that maybe you guys can participate to. Leave in your comments your top 5 things you like or dislike, or just give me your opinion about the things that I am about to list of my top 5 list. Let me get my David Letterman on and give y'all my top 10, but it's going to be top 5 things I like and top 5 things that I dislike about the 2025 New Orleans Saints rebuild so far. So we'll start off with the things that I dislike, right? We'll start off with the bad stuff so that we can at least end on a positive note because we are all in positive moods today. But for number 5, the thing that I dislike so far, 5 games into this New Orleans Saints rebuild, is Blake Groupie. And I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to call for anybody's job or whatnot, but this is a business, a cold-hearted business at that. And every Sunday I ask myself, why is this guy still on our team? Why is Kellen Moore not bringing in competition? I know we got Charlie Smith on the practice squad. Why have we not elevated him just to at least give Blake Groupie some motivation? Blake Groupie, y'all, ranks last in field goal success rate so far this season. He only has a 66.7% success rate, while the league average is 83.6%. That is right, y'all. Blake Groupie is 66.7%, while the rest of the league is 83.6%. Every week we see all these kickers making 50-yard, 55-yard, 60-yard field goals. Saints fans got to hold their breath when our kicker comes out for a 37-yard field goal. He has missed 5 field goals so far. He has missed a 37-yard field goal. He's missed a 40-yard field goal. He's missed a 52-yard field goal. He's missed another 52-yard field goal, and he has missed a 46-yard field goal. I have no confidence that Blake Groupie is going to be our kicker in a few years. I certainly do not know why, to be honest. Blake Groupie is going to be our kicker this Sunday. Cold-hearted, I am sure, but you get paid to do one thing, my guy, and that is make kicks, and you are not making your kicks. He is number 5 on my list of the things that I dislike so far about this 2025 Saints rebuild. Now, my girl Sandra says he has the yips. I mean, I feel like he's had the yips for the past 3 seasons because he's never been trustworthy to me. He's always misses the big kicks when the lights are bright. So I'm just not a Blake Groupie believer. And Not that Will Lutz is setting the world on fire, but that is going to probably go down historically as a bad decision to keep Blake Grupe and get rid of Will Lutz. Number 4 on my list of things that I do not like so far about this Saints 2025 rebuild. Players who should be at their peak are not peaking, and we know the main two being Cesar Ruiz and Chris Olave. We have a very young team right now, but Ruiz and Olave should be 2 players who are right now at their peak, who should be performing way above what they are performing right now. They should be making major money. I mean, technically, Ruiz is. Olave should be setting himself up to make major money because these guys aren't rookies. These guys are multi-year veterans at this point, and they should be essentially, honestly, it shouldn't be Cam Jordan. It shouldn't be Alvin Kamara. It shouldn't be DeMario Davis leading our team. It should be Ruiz and Olave. This is the year where these guys should have took the mantle and say, hey, we're the captains now. We are the top dogs on this team while we try to rebuild from a pretender to a contender. And Ruiz and Olave are just not getting the job done. Olave, y'all, only has 244 receiving yards on 33 catches. 33 catches and only 244 receiving yards. Mike Thomas had 244 receiving yards in 2 games when he was at his peak. That's a 7.4 yards per catch. That is not going to get it done, especially if you want to be a number 1 wide receiver. That's not going to get it done. Now, I'm not going to say it's all his fault. I know that Rattler doesn't sling that thing as consistently as the Drew Brees or James Winston or Derek Carr. I get all that, and I know that the system right now doesn't seem like it is really putting Olave in a best situation to fulfill his strengths. But end of the day, in the contract year, Olave, you are not performing to what we thought you would be when we drafted you with our first-round pick. I am very disappointed in Chris Olave and Cesar Ruiz, and I really hope they get it together. Number 3 on my list of things that I do not like so far in this Saints rebuild is Kellen Moore is too nonchalant for my liking sometimes. Take it back to the Seattle game, which feels like a world away after the great performance we did against the Giants and the very impressive performance we did against the Bills. But when the game against the Seattle Seahawks and you're getting your ass whooped and Kellen Moore's just on the sideline, kind of talking under his breath, not showing any fire, not getting in any players' faces for getting their ass whooped, does not make you a fan, a supporter, and you does not yearn the support, I should say, from Jono Barnes when you do stuff like that. Also, the field turf. I mean, we even saw Chris Olave slip on the field turf this past Sunday. And I bet you after that field turf issue against the 49ers a few weeks ago, Sean Payton wouldn't have had that. And yet we're still in week 5 running into field issues at the Superdome. And I remember when they asked Kellen Moore about the field turf after the 49ers game, he was like, it's not my concern. It's not my, wheelhouse. Yes, it is. You're the head coach. You're the head coach. Sometimes Kellen Moore is just too nonchalant for me. Sometimes he does give off substitute teacher vibes that does not make me feel like he is the guy long-term for the team. But that's just what I dislike, okay? Stay tuned for what I like, okay? Don't think that I'm writing Kellen Moore off yet. That's just one thing that I dislike about him, but it's very, very early into the season. Number 2 are my things that I dislike so far about this Saints rebuild. I still do not know who the quarterback of the future is. Rattler has been playing very, very, very fine, but I cannot come on this show with my chest poked all the way out and say it is no doubt that Rattler is our franchise quarterback, and we still don't know what's Tyler Shuck until he gets a chance to play. The draft is a crapshoot at this point as far as the 2026 draft about which quarterback will be the top quarterback because it's been a very, very disappointing college quarterback football play this season from all the college quarterbacks. And so I just do not know as of October 7th. If you put a gun to my head and say your life is on the line, who is going to be the Saints franchise quarterback in 2027? I strongly cannot say Spencer Rattler, and I strongly cannot say Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck because he hasn't played yet. Spencer Rattler because as fine as he has played, he still has not set the world on fire to make you go, that's clearly the guy. That's clearly the guy. And when it comes to rebuilds, everything is great, right? Like you're building your foundation, you're building a culture, all that good stuff. You're getting some skilled players, you're seeing some young players ascend. But none of that matters if you do not have a guy at quarterback that you know can lead you to victories and be the reason why you win games. Never mind being the reason why you don't win games. Be a reason why you win games. Right now, I feel like Rattler is a quarterback who doesn't lose games, but he's also not a quarterback who wins games. And that is my definition of a franchise quarterback. Give me a quarterback who can win games. Still early. This is so far. The title says so far. So don't come at me, Spencer Rattler fans. I'm just saying, as of October 7th, 2025, Jono Bond still does not know who the quarterback of the future is. And my number one reason, my number one thing that I dislike about the Saints rebuild so far is, simply put, rebuilds do not guarantee success. As fun as Sunday was and as much optimism and impressions we have about the good things that this team is gradually building, it still does not guarantee that the Saints are going to be a good team in 2026 or 2027. Rebuilds do not guarantee success, okay? It was necessary, though, due to the fact that Dennis Allen era stench is just so goddamn heavy on this organization right now that we can only hope that a rebuild pays off. But at the end of the day, as many wins as we can probably yearn out this season, maybe we'll get 4 or 5 exciting wins when it's all said and done. None of that means that it is guaranteed that this rebuild is going to work out. As much promise as we see for some of these young players, as much stuff as we see Kellen Moore develop throughout these weeks, it still does not guarantee a success. So that is probably my least favorite thing about a rebuild, is that rebuilds do not guarantee success. I mean, right now, y'all, the team with the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, if the season ended today, would be the New York Jets. How many years have they been rebuilding, right? How many years have they been rebuilding? They've had their flashes where you're like, oh, man, the Jets might be finally at that part where they're going to finally ascend. But rebuilds do not guarantee success. And that is always in the back of my mind as we enter this rebuild phase, because we had to. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have rebuilt. That was one of the main ones saying you got to rebuild. Like that Dennis Allen stench, God, it was just so damn bad that you put yourself in no man's land that you have to rebuild. But rebuilds do not guarantee success. Hopefully, this rebuild will guarantee success. Now, those are the 5 things that I dislike so far. So far, all 5 of those things have a way, and have time to change my mind. Here are the top 5 things that I like so far about this rebuild. Coming in at number 5, Spencer Rattler. Now, y'all might be like, well, you just say that you don't believe that we have the quarterback of the franchise of the future yet. Yes, I do not. However, I still think that Spencer Rattler has been playing pretty damn well. And at the end of the day, y'all, he is a fun player to cheer for. He's a fun player to cheer for. He's like, if he winds up being nothing more than just this bridge quarterback during the rebuild era, he was a very fun bridge quarterback to have while we still continue to search for a franchise quarterback. And maybe he continues to elevate. That was a very good game that he played. Well, very good might be tough, a little stretch. That was a good game that he played this past Sunday. And maybe he continues to build on that momentum, not that he finally broke his win virginity and has a win in his win-loss column stack. But I have still, even though I'm not like getting on my soapbox and saying this guy is for sure our franchise quarterback, I have really enjoyed cheering for him. He's a guy that represents the city of New Orleans well. He's a guy that's very easy to cheer for, right? Like in a city like New Orleans, we're not glamorous, we're not fancy, we're not big time like in Chicago or New York or anything like that. We like to get it out the mud out here in New Orleans. And Spencer Rattler right now is getting out the mud, and I'm cheering for this kid every Sunday. And like I said, at worst now, his floor is that he's going to be a backup quarterback for years to come. He's going to make a lot of money. He's going to have a very, very successful NFL career, given where he was taken in the draft. And it's been a pleasure to watch him develop these past 2 seasons and watch him be our quarterback. Doesn't mean I think that he's going to be the franchise quarterback. Maybe I'm just a hard cookie to sell, but I have very much enjoyed Spencer Rattler as his time as a New Orleans Saints quarterback, and I am very, very much continuing to cheer for him and hope that he feels the love from the city of New Orleans. Number 4 on my things that I like, my top 5 things that I like about the New Orleans Saints rebuild so far. Yes, I say Kellen Moore is nonchalant, but guess what? Sometimes Kellen Moore does actually show flashes of ruthless aggression. So shout out to all my WWE fans in the chat. What I'm talking about, the Philly special, which is a very controversial call, if you want to say, because some fans were like, why would you call it a Philly special when you're in your own red zone? I love that call. I love that type of aggression. I was like, God damn, y'all, we are 0-3. Shoot for the moon when you're 0-3. Shoot for the goddamn moon. But not only was a Philly special something that was showing ruthless aggression, this past Sunday, it was 4th and 5 with 4 minutes left from the Giants' 32-yard line, and I was shocked to see Kellen Moore not go for a punt, not go for a long field goal. He said, Spencer Rattler, stay out there. We're going to try to put this goddamn game away. I love shit like that. That's the type of coach we need in New Orleans. I love seeing that ruthless aggression. So week by week, I am slowly starting to see a little bit of gall and Kellen Moore. I'm starting to see him drop his nuts a little bit more. And I want to continue to see that, Kellen Moore, because I'm loving that. And if you continue to do that, I really do believe that you can be the guy for the Saints for a long term as the Saints head coach. So keep up the ruthless aggressions, Kellen Moore. Keep up that ruthless aggression. Number 3 on the things of my top 5 things that I like about this Saints rebuild so far is Cam Jordan is gradually boosting his Hall of Fame chances. You guys may not notice it, but Cam Jordan is quietly having a pretty solid season. And hey, he's already had multiple great and elite seasons. That solid seasons are going to be the thing that could possibly put him over the edge when it comes to making it into the Hall of Fame. He has 2.5 sacks on the year right now and a fumble recovery. He is now at 124 sacks in his illustrious New Orleans Saints career. If he gets to 133 sacks, it will move him to top 14 all time. And if he gets to 139 sacks, it will move him to top 10 of all time. Now, if he can somehow go from 124 sacks right now to 139 sacks when it's all said and done, there is no doubt in anybody's mind that he will be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Right now, you can argue he's the Hall of Very Good, et cetera, et cetera. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but I'm probably biased the way you all are probably biased. But if he continues to play like this and just build on his sack numbers, build on his turnover numbers, he can definitely become a Hall of Famer where Drew Brees will have some company in a Hall of Fame with him when Drew Brees gets inducted next year, because we know Drew Brees is definitely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Maybe Cam Jordan can join him one day in Canton, Ohio. So I am loving that Cam Jordan is quietly boosting his Hall of Fame resume this rebuilding season. I'm also just appreciative for guys like him and Kamara and DeMario for the loyalty they've shown this franchise in this city while we go through these tough eras, because Lord knows they can easily say, man, trade me to a contender where I can finish out my career trying to play for a ring. So that Cam Jordan, will always, always be loved by Jono Barnes, and I'm sure the Saints community. Number 2 on my top 5 things that I like about this Saints rebuild so far. We've been competitive. And being competitive probably means you are building a good foundation. Now, the only game where we were not competitive was, of course, that Seattle game, which right now is an outlier. Like, if you go by the data, we've had 4 competitive games, 1 game where we got our ass whipped. So that 1 game where we got our ass whipped is the outlier right now. But we have been competitive, and I love that. And actually, I'm actually kind of happy that we got our ass whooped in Seattle, because it kind of was like a good test to see, okay, well, how would this team respond? How does Kellen Moore respond after a team comes out and just punches you in the mouth and stomps all over you? I've seen games where teams got their ass whooped and they just made their season go into a spiral downfall, right? And that easily could have happened with the New Orleans Saints. But no, we came out the next week in Buffalo and gave them a good game. And then we came back home to the Superdome this past Sunday and got a win. I love that the team is competitive. I know that is probably low-hanging fruit for an NFL franchise for the professional players. Of course, you want to have a competitive. I know, but we are where we are. The reality is we are in a rebuild year. So for us to be competitive for 4 games out of 5 games of the season, I like that, and it shows me that whatever Kellen Moore is preaching is working. Now, is it going to work into long-term wins? That remains to be seen. But at least we know that we have a good foundation that's being built, and that gives me optimism that, hey, maybe this rebuild will work out. And the number 1 thing that I like so far about this 2025 Saints season and this rebuild era that we are in is that the 2025 draft class has been doing pretty damn good so far. And y'all remember all offseason, I was like, man, one of the main things Kellen Moore has to do is he has to hit on this first draft pick. And I hate to always go into the Sean Payne well, but Sean Payne came in his first draft pick. In his first draft class, we got Reggie Bush, we had Marcus Colston, we had Zach Strick, we had Roman Harper. We had players who are foundational players for when we finally were contenders. You know, we relied on those players. I'm starting to see that with the 2025 draft class. Calvin Banks has been awesome. We rarely call Calvin Banks' name, and for offensive lineman, that's probably a good thing when you're not calling his name. Y'all know how much I am in love with my wife, of course, but also in love with Jonas Sanker. I'm telling you, Jonas Sanker gets one more turnover, I'm going to start calling him Ed Reed Jr. Like, he is always around the ball. he is a player that is flashing. That's all I asked for. I was like, man, can I have one player just start flashing off the screen that I'm like, yo, this guy might be good. Jonas Senka is playing so well that we are probably going to start seeing some Senka jerseys around New Orleans if he keeps up this level of play. I am loving what Jonas Senka has done these past 2 weeks as a starter for the New Orleans Saints. Quincy Roddy has flashed. Isaac Yiadom, thanks for the first few weeks, but it's Quincy Roddy time now. Quincy Roddy has flashed as a cornerback. Now we're still waiting to see what the cracker with the juice, my guy Danny Stutzman, we're still waiting to see what he does. P1 probably isn't giving up that job anytime soon, so we may not get to see a lot of Stutzman this year. And obviously Vernon Broughton sadly went out for the year. But hey, 3 players out of 7 so far that are like, hey, these are actually, apparently it's only week 5, I know, good players. That's a damn good start to a draft class. Devin Neal is buried behind Alvin Kamara and Kendre Miller, so obviously we will probably have to wait a year to see what Devin Neal actually can do. But of course, the main person of this draft class, and honestly what this draft class will be historically reviewed by, is Tyler Shuck. Now, if Tyler Shuck winds up being a damn good quarterback, oh my God, this is a top 5 Saints draft class of all time. The Tyler Shuck is the shadow or the cloud over this whole draft class. If he's great, oh man, this is a historic draft class. Even if he's good, even if he's serviceable, this is a very good draft class. Now, if he's a bust, if he winds up being nothing for the New Orleans Saints, but then it takes the draft class down a level. But as of October 7, I am loving this draft class, and that is exactly what we needed. We needed to hit on these draft picks because the draft has been where we really have struggled and why we are in the situation we are in right now. So for Jonas Senka and Calvin Banks and Quincy Riley to show us some goddamn good play in their rookie season, it makes me feel really good, and I am really, really loving the start to this 2025 draft class, and I hope that they can keep it up. I hope that if Tyler Shuck ever does get an opportunity to play, that he proves me wrong and a lot of Saints fans wrong, and he is a franchise quarterback. Because we find a franchise quarterback, a franchise left tackle, and a franchise safety in the draft, oh man, that would be honestly like that's a franchise changing draft. Now I'm not saying that it's week 5. I know. Senka might fall off a cliff. Quincy Riley might wind up being, Fred Thomas when it's all said and done. That's a name for some of you old school Saints fans. I get it. I'm not trying to say that these guys are future all pros or anything like that, but I can only go by the data so far. And in 5 weeks, I am really, really impressed with the rookies that have played so far in our 2025 draft class. And it makes me optimistic to see what Danny Stutzman and Tyler Shuck can do if and when they do get their chance. So those were my top 5 things that I like and my top 5 things that I dislike about our rebuild so far. Let me get to some of the comments and see what you guys have liked and disliked so far about the Saints rebuild era here in 2025. My guy, the Know the Chop podcast. That's my guy, y'all. Make sure y'all check out his YouTube channel and his great podcast as well. He says Rattler has been holding his own and playing damn good. Facts. I even put out a tweet Sunday where I was like, hey, man, Saints fans, let's just celebrate that this kid got his first win. Like, he's been working his ass off. Like, I don't care if you are a believer in Spencer Rattler. I don't care if you are a non-believer in Spencer Rattler. You can at least celebrate that, yo, this kid finally deserved to get a win, and he got a win with all the mud that he's been through. He's literally been getting out the mud. Like, literally, his first 11 games as an NFL quarterback. And yeah, I still have people in my mentions saying, yeah, but like that really wasn't. He only had 1 touchdown, and he did all the work, and he still is throwing behind. And I'm like, okay, I get all that, y'all. I get all that. But can we for just 48 hours just like celebrate the kid? Like, let him enjoy this moment. We as fans, like he's a Saint. He's a Saint. Let's enjoy the moment. We're not going to get many moments where Rattler might win games. The Saints in total might win games. So let's just celebrate. I was still surprised, and that's to the Rattler haters. Like, y'all think I'm a hater. Rattler fans and all you stands think that, oh, Jono Bones doesn't believe in Rattler, yada, yada. I mean, I always say I'm fair. I'm fair. And even I was a bit aghast. I'm like, God damn, some of you Saints fans, y'all can't even just take 24 hours at least to give Rattler his props. He's been doing fine. He's not great. I'm not acting like he's great. I'm not saying, oh, he's the next big thing. He honestly, if we're being truthful, y'all, he's playing better than Michael Penix. But we'll talk about that on another episode. But he's playing better than Michael Penix if you look at the numbers. But either way, I'm very impressed with Rattler. He's been playing very solid. Sandra says he does have a little grit mixed with confidence that makes you want to him. Yeah, exactly. And we love those type of players in New Orleans. It's been very fun to cheer for Spencer Rattler. Bruce Saint says people forget how Sean Payton was with his aggressiveness. Why can't more be the same? I agree. And I hate that, Bruce Saint, we always go down like Sean Payton did this and Sean Payton did that. But I mean, him and Drew were just like the standard of what we are probably going to see as head coaches and NFL quarterbacks throughout our Saints tenure as fans. So it's kind of hard to not like always compare a head coach or a quarterback to the greatness that we saw with those guys. Sandra says, Jono, give Kool-Aid some love. Yes, because I was hard on Kool-Aid the first few weeks, and Kool-Aid still did up a touchdown, Sandra. So I'm going to still be a little hard on him. He started off the game pretty rough, but 2 interceptions. Hey, the defense was rocking out. I believe we had 5 straight drives where the defense got turnover. I think that was the first time in NFL history. That was pretty awesome. And I actually had a joke on Twitter, Sandra. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter at Jono Barnes, where I said the Kool-Aid we got Sunday was the black people Kool-Aid. And if you know, you know. The Kool-Aid we got on Sunday was black people Kool-Aid. If you know, you know. Bruce Saint says Banks, Sinker, and Riley are starting to grow. Yep. If anything, group that's a hell of a foundation for a 2025 draft class. Again, we'll see what Devin Neal does. We'll see what Tyler Shuck does. We'll see what Stutzman does, which I'm really excited about Stutzman. I'm just because of how hype he gets. I'm like, you can't get that hype as a player and not be great, right? He's got to be a guy who's going to come in and start busting heads whenever he gets his opportunity. And hopefully Vernon Brutton recovers from his injury and becomes a force on the D-line for us. But with Banks, Sanka, and Riley, we at least can feel like as of 5 weeks into the season, we have a good foundation from our 2025 draft class. So those were the top 5 things and the top 5 things I disliked about the draft class. Bruce Saint also says the number one thing that he dislikes is it's got to be Ruiz. We might need to look into it. And Simpkins played arguably better than any game that Ruiz played so far this season. And Simpkins is on a very cheap contract compared to what we are playing Ruiz. Hey, the F in the NFL does not stand for fair. I don't know if Ruiz might even be on the team next year if Simpkins continues to play like this. I'm just saying, Ruiz, when you do come back, bro, you got to step it up. The Know the Chop podcast says he dislikes Justin Reed. His tackling has been god-awful. Prayers up to him for suffering a concussion, but he is still playing like garbage. And then Howden came in and got the 97-yard fumble recovery and just flashed off the screen more than what Justin Reed has been so far this season. But I think that because to be fair, Sanka misses a lot of tackles. Now, Sanka's a rookie. I get that. So you can excuse it a little bit more. But Sanka also misses a lot of tackles. So we'll see. But Howden definitely, in his limited playing time he got this past Sunday, said, hey, I'm going to make it hard for Kellen Moore to want to put me on that sideline because, again, NFL, the F does not stand for fair. When these players like Simpkins and Howden get their shot and they play the way they played this past Sunday, make sure I don't miss any comments. All right, yeah, so those were the top 5 things that I liked and the top 5 things that I disliked. One thing that I really, really liked was beating the New York Giants. And before we talk about that game, you guys can see how much I really enjoyed this win this past Sunday.
Yes! 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 The Saints are back, baby! The Saints are back! Yes!
Jono.
What?
Be realistic.
What you mean be realistic?
It's the Giants.
Baby, what were we before today?
A winless team.
And who came back today?
What's his name?
Taysom
Lamont
Hill. Baby, we are undefeated with Taysom Hill. The league done messed up now. The league done messed up now. We're going to a Super Bowl. We're going to a Super Bowl.
Oh, jeez. The tears? What's
Well,
wrong
I'm
with
not
you?
trying to, it's that damn candle you got, man. It makes my allergies go messed up. Baby, the Saints are back.
We're the same we were last week. We won against a bad team.
More than a game.
You know who the Giants are? They are the New Orleans Saints of the East.
You know this shit more.
NFC East.
You hear that? You hear that? Come here. I'm overreacting. If I come here,
Yeah. No, where are you going, Jono? What?
Game, watch. I told you this shit more than a game. I told you this shit more than a game.
It don't mean nothing.
Now, what's your credit card?
My credit card for what?
I gotta go call my bookie so I can make a Super Bowl.
You have a bookie?
Yeah,
What?
what's your credit card?
No.
And it's only gonna be like a $28,300 bill, okay? What's your
Jono,
credit
no.
card? Baby, the Saints are
No.
Super Bowl. You know this shit more than a game.
Stop!
She be tripping, man. She be tripping. I'm glad the Falcons fans are starting to come in because in a few minutes, I'm going to play a special message from Lil Jono after that Saints win to you, Atlanta Falcons fans. But Jody Bear says, Xavier Watts won Rookie of the Month, but let me not rain on y'all's celebration. Yay, 1-4. You damn right. You saw that video just now, Jody Bear. We're going to celebrate in New Orleans. We don't need a reason to throw a second line, but when the Saints give us one, we damn sure going to throw one. So we damn right we're going to celebrate. And I will say this, though, all jokes aside, it was very, very discouraging to see the Rookies of the Month for the NFC being Xavier Watts for the Falcons on the defensive side and Emeka Ibuka for the Buccaneers on the offensive side. And I'm like, damn, man, that's not good that the Bucs and the Falcons are also having some players that, are flashing. So all that to say, hey, maybe the NFC South might actually be a force again in a year or two. We're a ways away. I'm not saying we're going to be, right away, but I can give credit where it's due. Xavier Watts for the Falcons is balling, and the Falcons do have some young players that's doing the thing as well, which sucks, which absolutely sucks. And the Buccaneers, got the damn near arguably offensive rookie of the year in Emeka Ibuka, and I'm like, God damn, the rich are getting richer. But we got to only focus on the New Orleans Saints right now, and hopefully when we get our stuff together, we can challenge those guys. Saints and Giants, what a great win it was. You're right, Jody Brown. We are going to celebrate being 1-4. Let me start with some of the things I didn't like about that game, though, because I don't want to get lost in the sauce too much. Like, yes, we won, but also it was the New York Giants. I can understand that. I mean, our last win before that Sunday was against the New York Giants. If we play the New York Giants every week, we'll be Super Bowl contenders, right? I still don't love the penalties. I still think we have way too many penalties, and we had a lot of penalties in the game last Sunday. You kind of forget about them when you win, but if you look at the numbers, you're like, come on, Kellen Moore, we still got to start cleaning up some of these penalties. The red zone issues, I mean, the final score makes it look like, oh, boy, the Saints was opening up a can of whoop ass, and we were. But if you look at the red zone numbers, we still are flopping out in the red zone. And I don't know if it's more on a play calling in the red zone, which leaves a lot to be desired sometimes, or is it just that Spencer Rattler gets real, crumbled in when the field gets real shrunken and just doesn't know how to play at an elite level when it comes to red zone offense. But we got to get our red zone offense together. Like, if Spencer Rattler can improve his red zone offense, he could be the franchise quarterback. But we get to the red zone and we stall. And yeah, you could get by with it against the New York Giants, but when the competition goes up like it might this Sunday against the New England Patriots, that red zone offense is going to come back and bite you in the ass. So we got to get better with the red zone offense. I still think the defensive line needs a infusion of talent. Love Cam, love Carl Granderson, who got robbed of a sack, but the Giants were running the ball on us at will. Jackson Dart had a ton of time in that pocket. Again, like, we finished so strong that you don't remember these type of things. But if you look at the game film again, like I did, I was like, okay, these are some things that, wasn't solved overnight, folks. Like, yes, we won, but we still have some things that continue to creep. That's going to be an annoyance to us going forward. But I do like Breezy. Breezy turns into Aaron Donald whenever he plays the Giants, and I'm a believer in Breezy. I think that Breezy can be a Pro Bowl level talent. He just got to do it consistently, man. Like, don't just play like Aaron Donald against the Giants. Now play like this next week. Force a fumble next week. Get a sack next week. Block a kick next week. And of course, like I say, Granderson was robbed of a sack, which was the worst roughing the passer call that I have ever seen. And it's not going to go down like historically as the worst roughing the passer call, because ultimately it's going to be in a meaningless game, right? Like, nobody's going to be caring about the New Orleans Saints versus New York Giants 2025 game by next month. But damn, that was a bad roughing the passer call. And I was like, damn, imagine if it was a close game, or imagine if this was like a game like for NFC playoff positioning. That could have been a horrible, horrific call. And I guess it's nice to see that the referees still suck, huh? It's nice to see that the referees still suck. But let's talk about the great things that happened this past Sunday. My favorite thing was finally, I ain't trying to sound like The Rock, but finally we unleashed Shaheed. And if you follow me on Twitter, and why are you not following me on Twitter? Right before that play, look at the time frame. I tweeted, I want a deep bomb to Shaheed this drive. I don't even care if he is covered. Just make me feel something again. And within seconds, literally, you can't make this up. He doesn't on the show anymore, but you literally cannot make this up. Within seconds, Spencer Rattler threw that ball to Shaheed, and he went 87 yards for a touchdown. My guy, the Professor Nick Harrison, say, Jono, is this you? Am I a psychic? Say, no, I am not Negro Damus, but you can call me John Nostradamus. To everybody who says, oh, that man, Jono Bones don't know ball. Look at that time frame, 1:03 p.m. I called it. Listen to me more, Kenny Moore. and unleash Shaheed, man. Shaheed should be a top 5 fun player in the NFL. And we have that man, and sometimes a lot of you running around like they're Michael Thomas. No, man, hit them on them fly routes and cut that thing back, Spencer Rattler, and slay that motherfucker. I love seeing Shaheed unleashed this past Sunday. Let's see more of it. Let's see more of it. Sandra, I also love that Kool-Aid got his 2 picks. You see, he was rushing me. I was going to get to it. I loved Kool-Aid's game. Still rough around the edges. I still don't know if he's a number 1 cornerback, but hopefully those interceptions from this past Sunday can kind of get him out of his shell and says, okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready to take that leap and be a top cornerback in this league. And it's fun because, right, you remember after every turnover, they were panning to the crowd and they had that fan who was wearing the Kool-Aid costume, and whoever that fan is, you deserve a this shit more than a game t-shirt. Like, Kool-Aid is a guy that you would love to be a good player because his name is so goddamn awesome. Like, the marketing possibilities that this guy winds up being a Pro Bowl player or all-pro player. Play like it, Kool-Aid. If you play like it, man, you will be one of the most popular players in the league because your goddamn name is Kool-Aid. Can't be named Kool-Aid and not be a great player. So keep it up, Kool-Aid. I love what you did this past Sunday. And finally, man, I thought the O-line did awesome. The Giants got 0 sacks. I thought the O-line did freaking awesome. Fuaga looks like he's kind of getting his health back. Banks, of course, we rarely say his name, which is amazing for a rookie left tackle. Of course, Eric McCoy, the best goddamn center in the league. But then you got Penny and Simpkins doing the goddamn thing. Man, if that O-line can play like this every week, and I know the Giants are a bad team to all the casuals. They're like, well, yeah, it was the Giants. But the Giants, as bad as they are, have a top defensive line. And for them to get 0 sacks, I was so impressed with the goddamn O-line this Sunday. And the O-line is where I feel like Kellen Moore is trying to build the foundation of this team before he starts to add the sexy picks like the wide receivers and running backs and tight ends moving forward in the drafts and free agency going forward. But if this O-line can play like this, watch out, Falcons fans. Watch out, Bucs fans, because the way you build teams, I believe, is through the O-line. And yes, even I would bitch when we draft offensive linemen. And I'm like, come on, man. But hey, if Fuaga and Banks keep this up, McCoy continues to play in his peak, and Simpkins can continue to play above his pay grade, hey, man, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. There was a very, very exciting win. Let me get to some more final comments, and then we will get to the voicemail. And I have a special message to all of you Falcons fans. Sandra says, yes, it was a fun rewatch. The O-line was pushing them boys around. I think that was the most underrated aspect because, you know, fans, you're never going to like focus on the O-line. But again, the Giants have a very good D-line. And for the offensive line to come out that game with 0 sacks allowed, I loved it, Sandra. Absolutely loved it. Bruce Saint says, that Shaheed bound was the first time this year I got excited. That could potentially become the most important play of the season. Possibly because, you know, soon as that play happened, the walls came tumbling down. Jackson Dart and his honeymoon rookie year was officially over. It's Cam Scatterboo, more like Cam Scatterwho. I'm just saying that as a fanatic. I love me some Cam Scatterboo. But they all hit that rookie wall and say, welcome to the NFL. And the Saints say, okay, we're about to show y'all why this shit more than the game. And also, if it wasn't a Shaheed bomb, Bruce saying, let's give some props to Burgess for that flea flicker, because if Jackson Dart would have actually hit that flea flicker, which he absolutely should have hit that flea flicker, then maybe the Saints, you know, the walls come tumbling down for the Saints and we lose that game. But Bird, I believe his name, I can't, look, forgive me. That kid, when he made the play, I was like, who the hell is it, Burgess or Burris or whatever? And I still don't know his name, but he made a head of a play on that flea flicker to stop the play, which could have been a touchdown and probably should have been a touchdown. And the Saints were able to then recuperate. We hit the Shaheed bomb, I believe, on the next drive, and the rest was history. But man, yes, come on, Kellen Moore, let's call some more Shaheed bombs. And Bruce Saint also says, one thing we also have to emphasize is our red zone offense. We got to capitalize on the goddamn turnovers. I agree. Jody Bell says, Carolina might sweep y'all low key. Well, they damn sure already in position to sweep y'all. They damn sure already in the position to sweep y'all. Because I know one team that ain't sweeping the Panthers, and it's the Atlanta Falcons. And Rodney Rogers says, Jono's ass is a fool, bro, and I love it. I appreciate you too, Rodney Rogers. I don't think you guys wouldn't love me if I wasn't a fool. Shout out to my girl, Dana. It's great to see you hop back in the chat too, man. Make sure y'all say some prayers for Dana. I know that she's going through some family stuff right now. So Dana, it's great for you to come drop in and show some love. And just know, Dana, you are, and your mama, your lovely mama, who was saying prayers for this shit more than a game certified. Let us hear a word from one of our sponsors. And then, Falcons fans, since you guys are in the chat talking and yapping, I got a special message from my little one after this word from one of our sponsors. Here's a gift just for you for being a fan. Are you going to a sports game or a concert or any major event? Well, buy your tickets from SeatGeek and use the promo code JONO at checkout, and you can receive $20 off your purchase over $50. That's $20 off your purchase. What are you waiting for? You know this shit more than the game, man. And if y'all thought I was excited after that win this past Sunday, my little one, the prince, the heir to the throne of this shit more than the game, he was so excited. Finally, he got to witness what it felt like to be a Saints fan on a victory Sunday, a victory Monday, a victory Tuesday. And he came to me. Yes, my little son came to me at 4 months old, and he said, Dad. I was like, God damn, son, you can talk? He said, don't worry about all that right now. He said, Dad, come here. I say, what's up, Lil Jono? He said, I want to say something to the Falcons fans. So for all of you guys, shout out to Bruce Saint for the super chat for making this happen. Here's a special message to you Atlanta Falcons fans from the This Shit More Than the Game certified baby, Lil Jono. What you got to say? Oh, really? Damn, okay. Anything else? Anything else you want to tell the people on the Jono Bone Show? You want to tell them this shit more than the game? That's how Falcons fans sound in the fourth quarter, huh? Yeah. Make the face that the Falcons fans make whenever they choke a game. Good job. Good job. That's why you are the first ever This Shit More Than a Game certified baby. I was a cry. What a great actor he is, right? When I say make the face and sound that the Falcons fans made him right on cue. I love that little man. That's my favorite thing about this season so far. Not the Instagram followers that I've gotten overnight and all that, just watching the game with him. And I loved it. I need a moment. That's look at my awesome house, y'all. Yes, every time the Saints win, Gumbo gets to stay alive. I've done this thing on Twitter where if Gumbo wants to stay up, the Saints have to win. Obviously, he was not able to stay up the past 4 weeks, but this past Sunday, Gumbo was risen. And y'all can see why I have a This Shit More Than the Game certified house. That was awesome. The reason why I was able to play that video is because I say I was only going to play if I got a super chat from Bruce Saint. So thank you, Bruce Saint. And thank you to everybody who left a super chat last week. So, of course, to the king of super chats who also left a super chat last week, Bruce Saint. To Kamar, he's a Falcons fan, so I say that with a little enthusiasm. And to my guy, Slim John On, just know that this shit is more than a thanks. Dana, I apologize, Dana. Like too many Danas. Dana G is fine, y'all. It's the other Dana that I'm thinking about who told me about her mom. Either way, this is all. Leave This Shit More Than a Game in the chat right now for Lil Jono and his mocking of the goddamn Atlanta Falcons fans. Now, let's also hear enough from me and enough from Lil Jono, but from our fans of the Jono Barnes Show after the New York Giants lost to the New Orleans Saints.
What's going on, brother? It's Justice from the West Bank, Marrero. I'm in the Air Force. I'm stationed out here in Florida, right outside of Destin in Fort Walton. In regards to the Saints, though, I don't know, man. This shit is tough, man. I'm a youngin'. I'm 25. So for me, I've been spoiled my whole life with the Saints. I ain't never seen the Saints like this. So it's just like, man, it's almost like I'm being reborn and then killed again. I don't know what to do, Jono. Like, shit, you got any advice for me, man, to get through these hard times? I mean, optimistically, I'm thinking by the end of my first contract with the Air Force, like 2030, 2031, we competitive and shit, but man, I don't know what to do, Jono. I don't know what to do, man. But hey, man, I'm a big fan of the show. Just wanted to send you a voicemail, let you know how a nigga feel. And, yeah, man, give me some advice for a young 25-year-old that been spoiled with Drew Brees and shit my whole life. Hey, man, big fan. Signing out.
I like that call. All right. So I know that there's people, and I'm not trying to like age people, but there's people in this chat who witnessed way more Saints seasons than me, right? Like some of you, I was a kid for the Billy Joe Tolliver, Billy Joe days, right? I was a kid for, Bobby Hebert becoming an Atlanta Falcon and all that. So I didn't really get to sulk in those losses the way I know some of you guys did who saw like the really bad Saints team. So give my guys some advice to y'all in the chat for all those who are here way before Drew Brees and Sean Payton saved the season. What would y'all tell to the younger Saints fans who are finally kind of experiencing what life is like when the Saints are the old Saints, if you want to say? I will say I started like really, really like being mature enough to like know about football and to like really feel down after a loss or feel great after a win during the Aaron Brooks era. So I kind of am spoiled myself because as we only had one playoff win in the Aaron Brooks and Jim Haslett era, but it still was better than, what my mom and dad went through as Saints fans, as kids, teenagers, and young adults. So all I can say though is, just cherish. It makes you cherish more what Drew Brees did. And it shows why he's the greatest quarterback of all time. If anything, just say, wow, how amazing was Drew Brees? Like I always say, the Patriots have gone back to the playoffs since Tom Brady left. The Broncos have gone back to the playoffs since Peyton Manning left. The Colts have gone back to the playoffs since Peyton Manning left. The Packers have gone back to the playoffs since Aaron Rodgers left. The New Orleans Saints have not done jack shit since Drew Brees left. And that is why Drew Brees is the best goddamn quarterback of all time. Because he took this lowly ass franchise and made us relevant for 15 years. And as soon as he left, we went back to being a lowly ass franchise. So if you want to take anything from this rebuild era and how do you handle it? Handle it by saying, God damn, I cherish Drew Brees, and use it as your argument for why Drew Brees is the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, I know Sandra was going to say something. Sandra says, us youngins, I'm going to call myself a youngin. I'm 37 years old, but I'm still young, God damn it. Y'all don't know the pain of being a lifelong Saints fan since the 80s, but the loyalty eases the suffering. It's a good point, Sandra. I think as a fan, when you go through like these tough years, when they actually hopefully are good again, it's going to make the young fans who only knew of Drew Brees' greatness really cherish the days again when we are a great franchise again. Sonia says, never give up and have an emergency kit nearby when you are watching the game. But most importantly, remember that this shit is more than the game. Absolutely. These youngins, man, huh, y'all? These youngins, they just don't know. They getting the real taste of what being a Saints fan is. Shout out to my mama who's watching the show tonight saying her baby John. I don't know if she's talking about me because she always says I'm always going to be her baby, even though I'm 37 years old now, Lil Jono. But either way, let's show some love to the this shit more than the game certified mom, my mom in the chat. We love you, mom. Let's get to our next voicemail.
Jono, what is good, my guy? Who that baby? What is good? What is good? What is good? Let me just say that the Saints finally won their first game of this season. I am happy, man. I love what I saw. All I know is we got our first win of the season, baby, and it's only going to get better. I love what I saw. The defense did their thing out there, man. 5 turnovers, bro. 5. Let's freaking go. I just wanted to call to say we won our first game. Hope you and Carissa and Lil Jono doing good and everybody else. And to the Who That Nation, we did it, baby. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. We won our first freaking game of this freaking season. Let's freaking go. And in closing, like always, this shit more than a game. Who that? Let's go.
Man, Joey was real excited about that Saints win, wasn't he? But you know what? Let's get to our next voicemail.
Hey, Jono. Hey. This is Jerry G once again with the second call. This message is strictly for these loud, low-down, good-for-nothing, obnoxious, annoying, Toklanta Falcons fans. Shut up, all you Falcons fans. The Saints won their first game of the season. So shut up and enjoy your pathetic bye because the worst is yet to come for y'all. So rise up to fall down, and this shit more than the game. Who that?
Man, he ain't leave a super chat, but let's give Jerry this shit more than the game, air horns. That was, you know what? Standing ovation. standing. That was awesome, Jerry. That was awesome. Always, always. F the Falcons. I'm using PG-13 version because I'm not as mad at them this week after what Lil Jono said to them. But always F the Falcons. Unfortunately, though, Jerry, for some reason, Falcons fans had to infiltrate my text line after every game, even though they didn't even play this past weekend. And we got a text from Kamar who says, "Good job, bro. I ain't your bro, first of all. Y'all beat the Giants without Malik Neighbors. After watching that game, the Saints won that game because the Giants' stupid turnovers, but hey, a win is a win." And Kamar followed that up by saying, "That's how Gail Benson and Mickey Loomis done brainwashed and manipulated Jono and them crazy Aints fans Sunday. Rise up." And it's a meme. Looks like from Ratatouille. Where, okay, yeah, we'll give you a C plus for the effort, Kamar. I mean, you do better than the Falcons in the fourth quarter, at least. Let's get to our next voicemail.
War not, Jono. It's Bo, man. I'm calling in, letting you know today was a great win. In the first half, it was a lot of things that needed to be cleaned up. But other than that, everybody came around and did what the team needed to do. It feels good to get a win today. Shout out to Kool-Aid McKinstry for the 2 interceptions, Jonas Sanker for the fumble recovery, and Jordan Howden for the fumble recovery and the score.
Man, oh man.
Oh, my bad. He just sounds so eloquent when he leaves voicemails. Yeah, shout out to Kool-Aid. Shout out to Howden. Shout out to the whole Saints defense. We also got a text for the first time ever. Brute Saint said, "I'm not going to leave a voicemail, but I'm going to leave a text." So Brute Saint says he was so happy to once again see the young guys step up, which included Breezy, Kool-Aid, Senka, and even Quincy, who did better than the last week against the Bills. Also happy to see that our O-line allowed 0 sacks. Arguably, me and Bruce Saint be having like mine sometimes against the best D-line in football. Although Simpkins got beat a lot of times, but he is an undrafted rookie. I would much rather him struggle than a 6-year veteran struggle in Ruiz. Looking at the post-game locker room speech, it was really nice to see how strong the vibes were. And although it's only one win and we still are barely into the Kellen Moore era, you're starting to see that new culture come together. And this is what I was looking for when we were looking at head coach candidates: youth, innovative, and more relatability to the players. And I think it's all clear when you pay attention to the general vibe. If Sean McVay can turn the franchise around, why not Kellen Moore? From your lips, from your keyboard to the football guy's ears, Bruce Saint. Let's get to our next voicemail.
Saints beat up on the poor old Giants. Jackson Dart said he was going to try to make the Saints fans, or the Saints team, I guess, regret not drafting Dart. That's probably why we didn't draft you, because your team turned the ball over 5 times, and you were responsible for 3 of them. And one of the fumbles that you did, no one touched you. Like, for what, you saw Cam Jordan, and then you, pissed your pants or something? Because no one touched you. Man, that boy Kool-Aid, bruh, got them interceptions. You know, I understand they weren't like the most impressive getting, but bruh, an interception's an interception, man. And honestly, I think the Saints might I think they're gonna probably trade Kamara by the deadline, because I like Kendrick, but he got more rushing attempts than Kamara, so I don't know. I think we're leaning more towards Kendrick, which I'm fine with. Now, let's let Kamara go compete for a ring elsewhere. But man, oh man, this team, bruh, we won a game, man. And Atlanta lost to the bye week. And it's a great day, bruh. Do that. Don't be a Falcons fan. On to New England.
All right, so I agree with the fact that the Falcons did lose the bye week. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. I disagree with this, Mikey, about trading Kamara. I would only trade Kamara, DeMario, or Cam if they explicitly said, "I want to be traded." If not, you let them ride it out. You let them finish their careers at New Orleans Saints. They seem to be just fine, even though we're in a rebuild. They seem to be, wanting to be New Orleans Saints, which is amazing, right? They have every reason to say, "Man, get me out this city. Let me go to a contending team." So I can appreciate, and that's why I'm always going to ride hard for Kamara, for DeMario, and for Cam Jordan. So If they don't come to Mickey Loomis' office and say, trade me, then you keep them. Because even if we traded them at this point, we're not getting like, okay, for DeMario, what we get a 6th or 5th round pick? Like, that's not going to do anything for our team. Same for Cam and Kamara because of their contracts and age. Like, we're not getting a good return on any of those players. Maybe Kamara we could get something. But if Kamara doesn't go to Mickey Loomis and say, trade me, then you keep Kamara and you reward his loyalty and you appreciate that these guys, even through the bad times, want to be in New Orleans and want to be New Orleans Saints. Now, people like Olave and Ruiz, who are disappointing, who should be in their peaks, those are the guys you can trade. I saw Nick Underhill tweeted last weekend that the Saints are going to be sellers at the trade deadline if they get good offers. So those are the ones that I would target. Like them, even someone like, and I hate to say it, Granderson, but if somebody makes you a deal you can't refuse, then you do that. But as far as like the veterans like Kamara, DeMario, and Cam, you let them finish out as New Orleans Saints unless they explicitly say that they want to come and be traded. We also got a text, finally, one last one from the Falcons fans. And this is from that one Falcons fan who says, 6 eye roll emojis. Everybody in the division won. His weekend was ruined. Congratulations to Rattler on winning the only game he'll win this season. I will tell you this, that one Falcons fan, if Rattler plays against you guys in any of those games, he will beat y'all. I promise you that. And not only that, he will outperform y'all nice, shiny first-round pick and Michael Penix. Clip that, Falcons fans. Clip that. Let's get to our final voicemail. And I think y'all know who it is.
This is James. Just James. DJ, please.
All right.
In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for New York, New York, New York. Yeah. The Saints damn sure need to let us hear it for New York because without New York, we wouldn't be anything. I wish we could play the New York Giants every single week. Now, one thing I do want to say, though, is Saints fans, and especially you, Jono, slow down. Calm yourselves. It's just the Giants. Now, I know. We should celebrate and be happy for wins. And even I, as much of a Kellen Moore hater as some might think I am, can congratulate him for winning that game. But it's still the Giants, guys. Our last win was versus the Giants, and now our latest win was versus the Giants. If we played the Giants every week, we'd be the greatest team of all time. But unfortunately, we don't. Now beat the Patriots, beat the Bears, and beat either the Rams or Bucs. Then you have my attention. You have my curiosity right now, Kellen Moore. But then you have my attention if you can actually build on this. But I'm not going to be like one of those Falcons fans. You sure sounded and looked like a Falcons fan in your video, Jono, with the celebrating over being a bad team. Okay, we're not the Falcons, y'all. Remember that. We're not the fans who get all excited and act like we're going to win a Super Bowl because we beat a lesser team than us. Y'all may think James, just James, is being cynical, but I just say I'm being real. Shout out to New York, though. The Big Apple sure makes the Big Easy feel easy whenever we play them. And in honor of New York, I got one more for y'all. Because we win, y'all get 2 songs from James. Just James. This is my boy 50 Cent. Me and 50 Cent used to run them streets in New York all the time, actually. Yeah, believe it or not, me and 50 Cent, we were homies. We did a lot of things that men should never do, and saw a lot of things that women should never see. But now he's gone on to brighter pastures, and James, just James, may not be able to escape that street life, but I can sure thrive in it. So, DJ, please. Many men wish death upon me, blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, but Falcons fans trying to take my life from me. I put a hold in that brother for messing with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. You better watch how you talk when you talk about me, James, just James. Cause I come and take your life away. Many men, many men wish that upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. Yeah, many Falcons fans sure wish that upon James, just James. But they don't know what they messing with. Tell them keep talking in that chat. They're going to have to see James, just James, with that gap. Wow. I'll see y'all next week. Keep it up, Kellen Moore. Keep it up.
Okay. Well, that got dark. As always, guys, you can leave a voicemail or leave a text at 504-484-9170. And, you know, I'm getting way too many texts from the Falcons fans, so I know not everybody wants to leave a voicemail or feels vibrant enough to leave a voicemail, but you can always leave a text, and that way we can just at least outnumber the Falcons fans when it comes to the text. So, you know, I see some of my loyalists in the chat right now. Don't be afraid. My girls Sandra's and Sonia, Dana, to leave a text every now and then, just so we can, you know, not just get text messages from those stupid Atlanta Falcons fans. Man, that James thing really went dark, huh? Know what else was kind of dark? This is usually how it gets dark for me at nighttime when I'm with my wife. That video is actually funnier on Twitter or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, but I can't use copyright songs on YouTube, but it actually was a funnier song. So if you want to see the actual edition of that video, make sure you go to Instagram, where Jono Bones is the fastest rising New Orleans influencer on that damn app. Over 6,000 followers I made this past weekend. So shout out to everybody who's been showing love on Instagram, and shout out to the Instagram algorithm for finally showing the boy love and pushing my stuff out. The great thing about that, y'all, it's like I have a crowd on Instagram now that's discovering Jono Bones for the first time. So they're new to Jono Bones, where all of you guys in the chat, y'all are true to Jono Bones. But you got people in the comments now saying, hey, man, where can I get this shit more than the game shirt? And shout out to Instagram. I sold a lot of shirts this past weekend. So hell yeah, I love it. But they're also saying stuff like, oh, man, you know, poor wife's credit card. Like they're starting to pick up on some of the Jono Bones Easter eggs, or the fact that I throw 28.3 in damn near all of my videos, that I get nicknames, middle names wrong purposely. And it's just fun. It's kind of like fun to have a new audience discover you and like pick up on stuff that you've been doing for 4 years now. I've been doing this for 4 years now with some of these like same tropes that I've been doing in all of my skits, but like new people are picking up on it and enjoying it. So yeah, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok for all of the goodies that come with my content, and shout out to all of those social media platforms for growing the Jono Bones brand. I love it. I love it so much that I got people using this shit more than the game brand for their own brands. And that's fine. Just don't sell any merch, because my lawyers would be calling if you did. Let us now discuss the Saints versus Patriots this upcoming weekend. The Patriots had a huge win against the Buffalo Bills. Drake May looks really, really good. So we're kind of going up in weight class. Not that the Patriots are like some juggernaut, but we're going up in weight class this Sunday against the New England Patriots. And I'll tell you what, man, if we can beat the Patriots, hey, Kellen Moore, you're going to have something on your hands, my guy. If you can beat the Patriots, then you really are doing the damn thing. It's one thing to beat the New York Giants, but to beat the Patriots, that's going to be impressive, because Mike Vrabel is a great coach. But they are beatable, because we're at home again in the Superdome. Hopefully after that win last Sunday, we get more Saints fans in the crowd this upcoming Sunday. And usually sometimes, you know, a young team too, like the Patriots, you know, you get a big win against a division rival like they did against the Buffalo Bills this past Sunday night on prime time. They're on top of the world, right? Like you can kind of lose focus a little bit and let the team that you're playing the next week kind of come in and upset you. So this is prime opportunity for the Saints to pull off an upset. And if they pull off an upset against the New England Patriots, oh, Falcons fans, y'all think we were bad about the goddamn Giants game. Whew. Watch out. Watch out. So I want to know, though, in the chat, how do you guys feel about this upcoming game Sunday? Do you guys think we have a shot against the New England Patriots? And hell, give me a prediction. What is going to be the final result after this Sunday? Will the Saints have 2 wins, or will the Saints still be at 1 win? Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think we will beat the New England Patriots this upcoming Sunday? Sandra says, can we have a watch party? I'm gonna do one, Sandra, and I know I've been like promising that, and I just, life gets busy. Lil Jono is as much as awesome as he is on the show that y'all saw. He's a heifer right now. He's a little rat going through his 4-month regression. I don't know if y'all hear. He's screaming his butt off because he's waiting to get fed. So I usually lose track of time, and I'm like, by Saturday evening, I'm like, it's probably too late for me to try to plan to do a live, but I will do a live at some point. I really want to do a live for the Falcons game. Like, that would be fun to do a live when we play the Falcons. But damn, I looked at the calendar the other day and I'm like, shit, that's going to be the Thanksgiving week, and I'm probably going to be in New Mexico. So I don't know if I'm going to even be able to do a live for the Falcons game. So if I can't do a live for the Falcons game, I'm going to have to find a way to make it up for y'all. But I will do a live at some point, Sandra. I promise you that. 4P says the Saints won't win again until the 2020. That's wrong, because we will beat the Atlanta Falcons. I promise you that. We may not sweep y'all, but I promise you we will get 1 win against the Atlanta Falcons. Sonia says, I believe in any given Sunday. We can do it. We got this. She believes we are going to get win number 2 this season. And Philip says, I always think we have a shot, even when we are down 20 with a minute left. Now that, Phil, is some this shit more than the game energy. I'm going to be honest. I try to call it like I see it. As exciting as this past Sunday was, I do think we come back down to reality a little bit this upcoming Sunday, and I think that the New England Patriots are going to build off their momentum after beating the Buffalo Bills and defeat us. But I do expect another competitive game. And again, as long as I continue to see development out of Banks, out of Senka, out of Riley, out of some of these other players, if I see Kellen Moore, make one play call where it's like, God damn, Kellen Moore, we ain't know you had that in you, I'll take that as a win. So we might lose on the stat sheet. We might lose in the win-loss column, but I do think it's going to be a competitive game. And if we, again, hey, that's going to make it even better, because, I went into Sunday saying I could see a world where the Saints beat the Giants. I don't see a world where the Saints beat the Patriots. So if we win that game, that skit that y'all saw after the Giants game, that's going to be real life. And that's going to be real life. Because I'm like, oh, wow. I think the Patriots are like these juggernauts, a juggernaut of a team. Like, beat the Rams. I hate to say it, Tampa Bay looks real good right now. Like James said, you be one of those teams. Shit. Okay. Watch out, NFC South. May not be this year, but the Saints might be ready building something with that. But a win against the Patriots would be pretty impressive. And I'm very much looking forward to that game this upcoming Sunday. So we'll see about that. Should be a fun one. Before we close out this show, of course, we got to play everybody's favorite game, right? Yes or no? We are going to do that next. But first, can y'all just do me one favor?
Hey, fans, hit the subscribe button in 3 seconds to make this Falcons fan sad. 3, 2, 1.
All right, y'all. What really will make a Falcons fan sad? I know there's a big debate right now about the ethicalness, I don't know if that's a word, but it is now, of AI. And is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should we use AI? AI is, taking water away from kids, so whatever. However you feel about AI, I do think it's here, and it's here to stay. And it can be used for good if it is used in good hands. And I actually wanted to do a favor tonight, because I knew the Falcons fans were going to come in talking all that mess. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give the Falcons fans a treat. I'm gonna show them what life would be like if they actually were to win a Super Bowl. So I went to ChatGPT and I say, man, ChatGPT, I'm trying to do something nice for the Falcons fans on my show. Can you just generate a video of the Atlanta Falcons winning a Super Bowl so that the fans in my chat can at least have that to smile about after watching the Jono Bones show? And this is what ChatGPT told me, guys. Sorry, Jono. Not even AI is that powerful yet to create such an impossible scenario. Would you like me to generate a video of them blowing a big lead instead? Wow. AI really is amazing, right, guys? AI really is amazing.
Hey, fans, hit the subscribe button in 3 seconds to make this Falcons fan sad. 3, 2, 1.
So make a Falcons fan sad, like ChatGPT said, guys, and hit that like button. And if you're new to the show, hit that subscribe button. And hopefully, if you guys don't watch the show live, anybody who comes in and watches after, I hope y'all appreciate that. After every show, I take a good solid 30 to 35 minutes after, and I go back to the show and I put in chapters. I don't know if you guys ever watch or do a rewatch of the Jono Bones show. I'm not expecting anybody in the chat like to come back and spend another hour and a half watching the show again. But for people who might not catch the show live and then watch it on the replay, I try to be a good host to you guys and a good content creator. And again, I always say I don't play with y'all time. So I go back to my video and I put chapters in so that, if somebody wants to catch a certain segment or see a certain topic, they don't care about the voicemails. They just want to talk about the Giants game recap. I put chapters in each video after the stream is done so that people can go back and pinpoint to one specific moment. So hard to say, I hope that you guys appreciate that, because that takes a bit of time out of my day, my night, basically, after the show. But I do it because I really want to reward the people who are loyal and, true to the Jono Bones show, the Jono Bones channel. I just hope y'all know that I appreciate y'all and I do small things like that as a reward for you guys. But we're giving me a great community. It ain't the biggest community. Oops. Sorry about that. Ain't the biggest community, but goddamn if it's not a loyal community. All right, let's play now to close out the show. Everybody's favorite game. Yes or no. And if you're new to the show, the rules are very simple. You simply leave a yes or you leave a no in the chat. You don't elaborate. You don't put yes because. You don't put no. And this is why I say no. You just put a yes or a no. But after the show, you're always welcome to go back to the replay and go in the chat box comments and say, this is why I put yes to that question. This is why I put no to that question. And it'll be easy because I have the chapters. Like I said, you can go to your favorite part of the segment and just watch it. So leave a yes or a no in the chat and put the hashtag of the team that we're talking about so that your answer can be clear about which one you are answering to. We're going to start off with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who had a very, very impressive win on Monday night against the Kansas City Chiefs. Look out, world. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 4-1. I know, it's crazy, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars, everybody, is 4-1. And so my question is real simple. Do you all believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars are for real? Hell no, you already messed up. Again, it's a yes or a no. Leave a yes or no hashtag Jaguars in the chat right now. Are the 4-1 Jaguars for real? Yes or no? My answer is yes. The Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. Root Saint says yes. He believes the Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. Who that to you, Rose City? Mikey says yes. He believes the Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. Pro Peace says no. He doesn't believe the Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. I bet you if that was the Falcons, he would say yes. Juddy Bear simply says yes. No, he doesn't say yes or no. He says go. You see, you can't ask the Falcons. You can get the Falcons fans the most deliberate of instructions, and they still will be like, "Dang, go for Jacks." That's not the Falcons fans, I swear. Hell no, says no. Mick Swagger says yes. The Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. I'm glad to see my guy, the Know the Chop podcast, still in the chat. Make sure y'all go and follow his Great Saints podcast. He says yes, the Jaguars are for real. Sandra and Sonia do not believe in the 4-1 Jaguars, even after beating Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs last night on Monday Night Football. Wow. I would love for y'all to go back into the comment section after this show and say why y'all don't believe in them, because that has my interest peaked. But I believe, yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. Next up, we put so much focus on the Falcons fans. And I think it was Pro P or Jelly, but it was one of y'all who said, man, all these voicemails are about the Falcons. We ain't even play. And y'all mentioned, yeah, because y'all in the goddamn chat every goddamn week. Like, I don't go knock on y'all door every goddamn week and be like, oh, man, you got so much attention on me. Yeah, because you knocked on my door. What you mean I'm putting attention on you? Stupid fan base, boy. But we are putting a lot of focus on the Falcons. That the Buccaneers, y'all, can arguably be said are the best team in the NFC period right now. They are 4-1. So I'm not asking you guys, are the Bucs for real? I am asking yes or no. Are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl contenders at 4-1? Yes or no? Are the Buccaneers Super Bowl contenders? This kind of Bucs Super Bowl. I gotta see. Is there a world where I can see Baker Mayfield leading the Bucs to the Super Bowl? That would mean that they would have to be better than the Eagles, the Niners, the Rams, the Pack. I'm gonna sound like a hater. No, I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders. No, I'm gonna sound like a hater. And Bucs fans might come and say, John, you're being biased. Maybe I am, but no, the Bucs are not Super Bowl contenders. And while y'all answer that, I actually was on a Buccaneers podcast yesterday, and surprisingly, unlike Falcons fans, those guys know a thing or two about summer hospitality, and we had a great time. We discussed our man caves and about the Saints and Buccaneers matchup. I'm not gonna say rivalry; they're not our rival, but check out. You go on my Twitter, which is why you should follow me on Twitter. I retweeted the link to when I was on a Bucs podcast. Had a good time talking Saints and Buccaneers football. And Falcons fans, why don't you pro P? Juddy Bear, Archangel. I don't know what Archangel is. He's in my DMs every goddamn week on Instagram. But why don't y'all start a podcast? So I can go on the Falcons fan podcast because I got some shit to say about the Falcons. Yeah, y'all don't want that smoke. But shout out to the Bucs fans. They could be cool sometimes. Sonya says no. She does not think the Bucs are Super Bowl contenders. Mick Swagger says no, not Super Bowl contenders. Sandra says no, the Bucs are not Super Bowl contenders. Jody Bell says no, the Bucs are not Super Bowl contenders. That child podcast, you got to be yes or no. Ain't no maybes. We don't play the fence on this shit more than the game show. You know that more than anybody. We don't play the fence. It's a yes or no question. Philip says no. Hell nah. He's living up to his name and says no. Jerry says no. Hurricane Mackie says no. T Creator, welcome to the show. I don't think I've seen you often. Welcome to the General Bond Show. Hopefully, hit that subscribe button. He says no. So I ask this then, and make sure y'all do it in the comments after the show. Are we saying no because we're biased, like we're Saints and Falcons fans? Like, are we just like, ain't no way we trying to say the Bucs are Super Bowl contenders, or do we really believe that the Bucs are not Super Bowl contenders? I gotta ask myself that. I'm gonna have to marinate on that myself because I'm like, but my answer was no. My answer was no. And finally, I'm going to ask a basketball question, okay? Because the Pelicans tip off in about 2 weeks. Zion looks good. And they went to Australia this past week. Of course, it was against the Australia basketball team. But there are some things that you can say, the Pelicans might be for real. So for all my New Orleans people, forget the damn Falcons fans. I'm going to ask this. Do y'all think that the Pelicans will make the playoffs this season? Yes or no? Do you think that while the Saints are in this rebuild funk, the New Orleans Pelicans are going to grab the bull by the horn, capture the attention of the city of New Orleans, and make the playoffs? Yes or no? Will the Pelicans make the playoffs this year? Not the play-in. I'm talking, will the Pelicans be playing playoff basketball in April and May? Yes or no? Don't hate me. My answer is no. I'll elaborate on that in future episodes, I guess. But my answer is no. The Pelicans will not make the playoffs. I'm hopeful that they will. My answer is that the Nola Chop podcast says yes, the Pelicans will make the playoffs this year. Mick Swagger says no, the Pelicans will not make the playoffs this year. Sandra says no, the Pelicans will not make the playoffs this year. T Creator says yes, the Pelicans will make the playoffs this year. And Sonia says no, she does not believe the Pelicans will make the playoffs. So it seems like we kind of have 50-50 in the answers on our belief in the New Orleans Pelicans. I hope they do. I hope Zion proves me wrong. My answer, until he does, is no. Guys, what an amazing show we had tonight. I appreciate all of you guys for y'all loyalty. You guys are an awesome ass community. I hope you guys are having fun with the victory week that the New Orleans Saints gifted us this past week. We probably will not, as Falcons fans are right about that. We know what we are, though, Falcons fans. And that's one thing about us. Like, yeah, we're going to celebrate like the Super Bowl if we win a game. But we're not going to get on a show platforms and say we are going to the Super Bowl. That was a skit that I did, okay? But you guys are real life, y'all beat a sad team and y'all come on the show. Watch out for the Falcons. We're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, okay. Y'all playing angry Buffalo Bills team this Sunday. Please come back on the show next Tuesday, Falcons fans. Please come back on the show. We'll see how Super Bowl contending you guys really are when you go to Buffalo this week. I'm looking forward to that game. So please come on the show this upcoming Tuesday after y'all play the Buffalo Bills. I can't wait for that. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for showing me love. Thanks for showing the family love. Again, continue to follow me on all platforms so you guys can continue to stay in tune with all the Jono Bones' crazy thoughts. I think I'm going to probably try to start implementing more shorts the rest of the season. So if you're a subscriber to the channel, just know that I think I'm going to try to start. I've read that you got to start to really grow an audience. Like YouTube shows you more love and all the platforms actually, if you post consistently. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to just post to post, though. Like, I want all my videos to like have some meaning or significance. But like I told y'all earlier, you got to play the social media game sometimes. And hey, it's worked for me for Instagram. So I might start like posting shorts daily or every other day. And I'm probably going to start doing like shorts from the stream where I clip some of our favorite parts and just making it into a YouTube short. Which should encourage you guys to be more active in the chat continuously because, hey, you might see yourself in one of my shorts. Or I might start doing just like quick commentary videos. But just be on the lookout for that. If you start saying, man, Jono is posting like a short video every day, it's probably because I'm just trying to build out the channel, make the algorithm start realizing that this is the best goddamn Saints community on YouTube. And we can grow the audience even more. All right. But even if we don't, I appreciate every single one of you people in the community right now. Even you Falcons fans. Even you Falcons fans. Enjoy Victory Tuesday. Enjoy Victory Wednesday. Enjoy Victory Thursday. Enjoy Victory Friday. Enjoy Victory Saturday. And then we'll turn this goddamn roller coaster around and take a ride on this shit more than a game train again this upcoming Sunday. And y'all know why. Y'all know why we do this every goddamn week. Huh. I know y'all know why. Because this shit more than a game.
Juno.